Assalamu alaikum students, welcome back to Global Public School online classes. In our previous class we studied about the first part of the First War of Indian Independence 1857, and we studied what are the reasons behind that war, the administrative reason, the political reason, the economic reason, and also the immediate causes and the military reason. So in this class we are going to study little more from that lesson, that we got to know what are the reasons for the war. But in this class we are going to study what is going to happen in the war, what actually happened in the war. So we got to know the reason that they wanted to do the war, but here we are going to study what happened in the war. The eruption of the revolt and spread. The war actually started in the Barackpur, and later it spreaded across the place, that is first in Meerut, next in Delhi, next in Kanpur, and next in Jhansi, and next in Lucknow. Like this, it started at Barackpur, but later it's extended till Lucknow. And in the Barackpur, the leadership was actually taken by the PANDEY. I told you students why PANDEY reacted more is because of the military reasons, the rumor that spread in the army. I hope you remember in the last class which I said the army troops at the Barackpur led to the severe dissatisfaction because they got a rumor and they got a reality that British introduced a new type of guns, that was Royal Enfield guns, in which the gunpowder will be given as a packets, and that packets used to be chewed. You can see a picture where how they used to chew. They used to chew that packet, take out the wrapper outside, and then pour that gunpowder inside the gun, and then put that gunpowder inside in the gun with the help of a cartridge or something. So that is how the gun used to be operating. When the British officer ordered the Indian soldiers to pull the safety catch with the help of their teeth, the soldiers rejected their command and revolted against their superiors, because the gunpowder was actually made up with the fat of cow and pigs, which was actually impossible for the Indian soldiers to utilize that. And next, the Barackpur Mangal Pandey was actually the first Indian soldier who was there in the British army. He was the first person to came out and talk about it, and not only talked about it. What he did here is, students, he killed a British official. He killed a British officer. Subsequently, he tried to escape, but he was arrested and finally hanged to death. And this is what happened in the Barackpur. But what happened in the Meerut here, students? In Meerut, when the British ordered the Indian soldiers to use that greased cartridge, right, the Royal Enfield gun, the soldiers refused to carry out the order, and the soldiers were imprisoned. As a result, there was a revolt which started in Meerut. Indian soldiers rushed into the prison, and what did the Indian soldiers do here? See, so in Meerut, British officers went and gave that Royal Enfield gun, and because of the Mangal Pandey and other rumors, they said we are not going to use that. We are not going to use that guns. And but what the British do? They forced them to, no, you have to use these guns only. Like that kind of a force they did. Finally, the soldiers were actually tired, and they were they had a very bad impression on the British. Finally, what they did was, they tried to imprison them. Imprison them means they tried to jail them. But here, what the Indian soldiers did, that they went into the rush, and in the Meerut also there will be some British jail, in which in that jail some of the Indians will be there who have done some crime like that. So these soldiers went rushly, and they released all the soldiers jailed there. And that's what happened in the Meerut. But in Delhi, later that group of soldiers who were there in the Meerut, right, they came to Delhi from the Meerut, and they took the flag and showed that flag on the red fort and declared that Mughal king Bahadur Shah too will be the emperor of India. But because of this protesting, the soldiers from different parts of India reached Delhi. Consequently, the protest became very serious. But you know, the British will not leave here, right? The British used to see all that and they were just waiting for the right reason. At the same time, in Kanpur, Nana Sahib rises the protest here, and the Tatya Tope was the assistance of Nana Sahib, but Kanpur fell into the hands of British. They could not survive in front of the British. The one more special lady coming up from the Lucknow to spread the war here is the heat of the revolt was felt in the Lucknow too, and ultimately the Lucknow was taken over by the British. Before they take any kind of action, the British took an action and took over that Lucknow from the local king, and they acquired it in the name of British. Then the war actually spreaded in Jhansi. Students, I hope till today we can remember the Jhansi Rani Lakshmi Bai and her freedom struggle till today. So see what happens here is Jhansi Rani Lakshmi Bai was actually upset because of the British cunning policy of the doctrine of lapse policy, because she didn't had her own kids and she actually adopted a children, and she wanted to make that child as a king of her empire. But Jhansi Rani Lakshmi Bai, who was enraged by the doctrine of lapse policy, declared the war against the British here. So what she did, she tied her adopted son to her back, you can see in the picture which is being shown, and fought in the war. She took Gwalior under her control. And when the Kanpur fell into the hands of the British, Tatya Tope came to Jhansi to help the queen. Finally, what happened when the battle took place again with the British? The queen had to lay down her life in the war of the first war of Indian independence. This is how in the Meerut, Delhi, and also in Jhansi the war happened, but nobody could get any point of success in this war. There must be some reasons, right, students? See, we got to know that we want to fight, we had the reason, but we need to see what is the reason behind for the failure also, right? Let's see what are the failures in the next class of ours. Signing off till then, take care, stay safe, and please write the explanatory notes of this and submit it through the Google Classroom app. Stay safe, keep your learning button on. Thank you so much, students.